Your ears do not deceive you. You have just entered the Cryptid Creator Corner brought to you by your friends at Comic Book Yeti. So without further ado, let's get on to the interview.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Yeti's Cryptid Creator Corner. I am one of your hosts, Jimmy Gasparo, and I have a returning guest, although this is the first time on the podcast with me. Last time she was on with Byron, and we are here to talk about the a Kickstarter campaign that I was so excited to read the first issue, and it blew me away. And so when you're listening to this, if you're listening to this right when it comes out, you're going to have 2 weeks left to back the campaign for Sink Your Teeth In. It is one of the best vampire stories that I have read in a very, very long time. And so please welcome to the podcast, Zoe Tunnell. Zoe, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be back. And always glad to chat with your team.
Yeah, I was excited to talk to you because the project, the Kickstarter campaign for Sink Your Teeth In sounded interesting, and I like vampire stories. And I thought it sounded like, oh, I'd like to talk about that, and let's get Zoe on. And I know she hadn't been on in a while. You were on with Byron for for Godzilla. We had mentioned.
Yeah, so about 2 years ago now. God.
Yeah, I know. And so, and you're kind enough to send me,
I'm sorry,
a
I know we're
preview
recording. Your
copy.
audio has cut out.
Has it really? Can you hear me now?
Let me see if it's on my end. Let me try it.
Well, that's weird.
Now I can hear you.
You can, so it's fine now?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Huh. That's odd. Okay. Well, just let me know if it happens again. I'll just go back and I'll figure out a way to edit it.
Will do. Sorry.
No, I appreciate you telling me, not just like you couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
All right. So you were kind enough to send me an advanced, review copy of Sink Your Teeth In, and I was totally blown away by it. Not just because it's a good noir story set in Chicago. It has a lot, it has all of those elements, but vampires have been around in terms of storytelling for such a long time, and it feels like, is there anything new? And I just totally blown away by Sink Your Teeth In.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a bit of a wild journey. Sink Your Teeth In is a story idea that I developed I think 4 or 5 years ago at this point. Like, it's been a while. I shopped it around to various publishers, and they all respectfully declined, giving various reasons, oh, vampires are oversaturated, or we don't think, our publishing line has a place for a mature, series like this, etc., etc. And I feel really lucky that Lifeline and Deathline, which is the specific imprint we're on, was willing to go to bat for it and let us do our weird little funky vampire detective story.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, if some publishers passed on it
Yeah.
because, if they felt like vampires are oversaturated, but I just think it's such a unique take, and I don't want to give anything away, but I really feel like it does. It just totally surprised me by the ending. The whole build up to where the first issue ends, I thought was just so well done. I mean,
That first issue endpoint has always, from day one of this story existing in my head, has always been where we end the first issue, because I was like, you're not going to get a better hook than that. And it's very funny. We actually we sat down and talked, and we were like, do we want to give away the ending for marketing purposes? Hey, because without giving away anything, the ending kind of tells what the story is really going to be about. And we were like, do we want to? Do we not? And we decided not to, because it is such a fun reveal. So it's very funny doing all these press bits where we have to kind of dance around it. I'm very excited for the issue to be in people's hands and for us to do the #2 Kickstarter, because then we can let the cat out of the bag and kind of reveal all our cards. But yeah, it's that hook at the end is what, like, I always clung to. Is I was like, because Vampire Detective, even just Vampire Detectives are not new, but I was like, I think this provides a bit of fresh meat in there, to keep it alive, ironically.
Yeah. And I agree. And it's one of those things where it has to be tough to talk about because essentially you're saying to potential readers, like, you have to trust us. Like, we can't tell you, you have to trust us. This is going to be something different. But if you give the first issue a chance, then I think you're going to be hooked. And
Yeah.
um, but that ending hits so hard. It's so good. The rest of the creative team, I just want to shout out and let
Ugh.
you talk about them in a second or two. But Lauren Knight, JP Jordan, Jody Troutman, and what Lauren and JP together did for the last page
It's
is
unreal.
it's so good.
I feel so stupidly lucky at this creative team that we've gotten. Shout out to our editor, Michelle Abinator. She's the best. I literally was in New York City seeing a play with her yesterday. Like, we're good friends. And she was like, "Hey, like, we're putting this together. How do you feel about Lauren Knight for art?" And I was just like, I mean, sure, I would also love a unicorn. I don't think that's gonna happen, but cool. And then apparently Lauren was sold within just like the 2 sentence elevator pitch. And then we got JP, who is one of the most slept on colorists in the biz, I think. Like, he's so goddamn good. And then Jody, who is, I think, the most increasingly in demand letterer. That girl is so busy. And she does such consistently great work. And just like, what a murderer's row to have this book that I've been
Oh,
fighting to get made for 4 years now. Like, I feel so stupidly lucky.
yeah, it's a great creative team. Lauren's been on the podcast before. Listeners, if you don't listen to every episode, it's been a while, but Chrissy Williams and Lauren were both on when they talked about the first go round of Golden Rage. They
Which,
recently
hey,
just
y'all should read Golden Rage too. That's a fantastic
one
comic.
one of my favorite series. I think
Yeah.
they just recently wrapped Golden Rage, like volume 2, which I want
I
to
think
say
it's
that the
I think it's like
Mother Knows
Mother Knows
Best or something.
Best. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just another great premise, fantastic comic, unbelievably well executed. So, and yes, Lauren's work on this is really good. To not dance around some of it, the story sink your teeth in it. Corsica Smith's your main character. Just give like listeners a little bit in case they have like zero familiarity with what's going on right now.
As much as I hate doing well, this is like this thing and this thing mushed together.
Yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, it's like the best way I can describe Corsica Smith is, what if Jessica Jones was a washed up vampire? Vampire lesbian. And because the thing about Corsica, that I've always loved, I'm a sucker for dirtbag characters, like, really, like, on Skid Row, like, waking up in a dumpster, like like, hot mess characters. I always love them.
Okay.
And Corsica scratches that itch for me, but in a fun way where she's actually incredibly competent. She's so good at investigating, and she's brilliant. She just unfortunately had her world collapse in the 90s, and has never gotten her shit together enough to climb her way out. So she's working as a private eye, but uh, she was working as a private eye, and she's taking like cheating spouses and like insurance fraud investigates, like the boring bottom rung detective shit, when she used to be like the #1 information broker in all of Chicago. And yeah, like, I just love how much she sucks. In the first 5 pages, which are available on our Kickstarter page, you can read. I had to do so much research for what happens to blood inside the body after you die for this book, because I was like, well, that body's been there for a while. What it wouldn't just be regular blood, right? Turns out no, because she's so broken, not picky, that she picks up a corpse that has been dead for several hours, slits the back of his neck where the blood is all congealed in his jelly. And it's just like, this sucks. I hate it, but whatever. Food's food. Didn't need a free
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah, it's funny all the different vampire lore, because I think there's been different things.
Like where it has to be fresh blood, or
Yeah,
like,
it can't be. You can't eat. Like there was one. Is it Interview with the Vampire where like you can't drink from a dead body.
Yeah,
There's
it has to be a
like
still
one of
living
those,
body. Yeah.
right? So yeah, but there's all kinds of different lore, but I love this one when because the way Corsica describes it in
Yeah.
your writing of it. I mean, it's gross. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
not
I
it's
think
not glamour. These are the
no,
least glamorous vampires you're ever gonna see. Because Corsica's like, ugh, it's like, I think she describes it as like a thick copper milkshake that I can never get the taste off of my
yeah.
tongue.
She says
And it's just,
if she waited any longer, would have to eat it with a spoon.
yeah, like it's gross. Hey, being an undead creature that subsists on blood, kind of nasty. Not a good
Yeah,
time.
no, not
Um,
great.
and yeah, like I think that's something we all enjoyed embracing. Like Lauren decided, and I loved it. I was like, yes, go nuts. When Corsica and other vampires, but we mostly see Corsica goes like full vamp mode. Her jaw kind of unhinges a little bit, and like it's not like a cartoonish like Wile E. Coyote like jaw hits the floor, but like it goes just a little bit too wide. Like a person can't do that. And I love that because I'm like, oh yeah, you wouldn't need to fit like an entire neck in your mouth sometimes. Of course they would look creepy and messed up with the like just a little too wide jaws. Um and
Yeah.
yeah, like having that more monstrous, gross aspect to ground the vampires is something that we all were like, hell yeah, let's go nuts.
One of the things I wanted to mention before we go back to the story is some of the uh, um some of the variant covers, some of the other artists that you
Yeah.
have doing variant covers on this, and
Ugh.
and typically I mean I'm not like a collector, like I
Nor
have
am
a bunch of
I.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have comics, and my brother and I do get comics when we go to like Baltimore Comic Con to get people to sign stuff just because it's fun.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a huge collection, so I'm not somebody that goes and gets like a bunch of covers or whatnot. But you do have some great variant covers for this. But one of the things that I thought was, I think it's Vash Taylor that does a movie homage, but I would not in a million years have guessed that the movie that it's. I mean, I recognized what movie it was as soon as I saw
Yeah.
the poster. But if you had asked me before I looked at it, like, what do you think sink your teeth in? Like, I would have guessed a million noirs.
Oh,
And
you
it's
didn't think we
breakfast.
were gonna do Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Oh my god! And it's so good. It's so good.
That's something that um every issue is going to have an homage cover like that. I don't think we're in a space where we can announce the artists for number 2. We have just as is, hey, you know how rad this collection of variant artists was? We have an only bangers allowed variant cover policy for Sink Your Teeth In, so they're gonna be great. But yeah, like, and we were talking about the homages, and we didn't want to do vampire like movies or because we were like, that's been played out a little bit. We did joke about there's a character who joins the primary cast in issue 2-3 ish, and we were talking about maybe doing a very funny one where it's Corsica and Florence, and it's the Twilight cover where they're holding Renesmee. Except it would be this very not a baby character whole as a tiny baby between them. And we're like, that'd be really funny, but let's get like that's one for us, not for a Kickstarter. And yeah, we Breakfast at Tiffany's was all Michelle and Vash. They put that one together. Same with the absolutely insane cake cover that we have, which is a real cake baked by Existential Crisis Bakeries. Um, Michelle, entirely Michelle's brainchild. She just went, "Hey, I got an idea, and I got it approved, so we're gonna do it." I go, "Oh, what's the idea?" And she just went, "Cake." And I was like, "Sorry? Come again?" And she was like, "Don't worry about it. You'll see." And just sent me a picture of the cake 2 days later. Um, which for all I know, we might be the first comic to have a cake variant cover. Um, but yeah, we've got Vash Taylor on that Breakfast at Tiffany's, and also snuck a little Fleetwood Mac in there too. On the figure for at Breakfast at Tiffany's, it's like I think Elizabeth Taylor like getting like helping someone tie a tie. Instead, Vash went, "What if I just put the like cover of Rumors right there?" Um,
Oh,
and
I didn't
then
realize that. Yeah.
yeah, snuck that one in there too. Um, so we got Vash, we have Emily Schnall on cover B, who's incredible. Emily was actually originally going to be the artist for Sink Your Teeth In back when we were first putting it together. She had to drop out for personal reasons. But we were so happy we could get her for a variant cover so she could still like be in the mix, be involved. Because she did such good work on the like initial pass that I very much was hoping she could still be involved somehow. And
Oh,
then
awesome.
we have the Skylar Patridge cover that killed me dead. It's our not safe for work cover, so I won't go into detail about it. But yeah, hey, killed me dead, and I is by far our best selling cover, which I think is understandable.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Skylar's work is awesome. With the cake cover, so it was an actual cake. Like, did
Actual
somebody get
cake.
to eat the cake? What
I
flavor
th-
was the cake?
from what I understand, they're gluten free. So all of it. So I think it was like a gluten free raspberry chocolate. Um,
Okay.
we didn't get to eat it. From what I understand, Existential Crisis Bakeries bakes the cakes and then donates them after they're done because it's like a more of a photography than an actual like eating the cake thing for them.
Okay.
Um, so that
That's pretty cool.
I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, that was Michelle's baby, but from what I understand, that's what happened. Which, hey, love that someone out there got a cake that said, "Sorry, I turned you into a vampire and then ghosted you."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, what do you yeah, I would just love to have been a fly on the wall if somebody
yeah,
got that donated cake and they were like, "What is this?" It's like, I don't it's cake. Just let's
it's
just,
cake.
you
It's
know,
free cake. Don't ask
it's free
questions.
cake. It's free cake,
Don't ask
you
why the
know?
raspberry jam tastes like that. It's fine.
Nope. Nope. Um, oh, that's awesome. So you were is a project that you'd been thinking about doing for a while and like working on. Was it something that you was in the idea stage for a long time, or had you scripted it and like slowly worked on it to get it into the place where you were ready for the art, or did you just have it all done and ready to go?
I had a full pitch doc and then a 5-page like proof of concept. That whenever I'm pitching like an original series to a publisher, if I have an artist attached, which you don't always do, but if I do, I usually like to do 5 pages of like, here's a proof of concept. Here's what the comic will look like. Usually like 4 uncolored pages and then 1 colored page. Um, and that's not a industry standard thing. That's just what I like to do. And I had that for a good long while, and Emily Schnall actually did the 5-page like proof of concept. Paid her for that, and we got that made, but then no one bid on it. And so when Lifeline came along, and Cat and Phil are angels, they basically went, "We think the pitch is great. We have no notes on this story structure is just make sure you can fit it into 4 issues. Because originally I was planning on 5, but it's easy to fit into 4. And then we went through the process of trying it out with Emily. Things like, just unfortunately couldn't come together. Reaching out to Lauren, and then Lauren basically went nuts. I wrote the script. I wrote the script in like, I'm a pretty fast writer. I wrote the script in like a week or 2. And then sent it off, and Lauren just started cranking out pages left and right. And I was just like, oh my God, I wasn't aware you were so excited about this project. And in everything since, Lauren has been like, if I don't do more of this project, I'm going to die. So it's been a delightful experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it looks really great. It's a fantastic story. What are some of your influences in terms of the noir aspects of it?
For me, hilariously, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a
Great.
big one, which
Yeah.
I love. I think that movie's perfect. I think it's a shockingly great noir story. But it also has, as you'll see in issue 2 and 3 and 4, has kind of the odd couple pairing with Roger and Eddie that I think Sink Your Teeth In gets into a little bit.
Right.
Beyond that, I honestly just read a shit ton of Greg Rucka and Ed Brubaker, like Criminal and Sleeper and Gotham Central. Like, because I know how noir works in film. Like, I feel like anyone who has watched a half dozen either recent, because people still make them, or classics, like you understand the like language of the genre. Comics are a different bag, I think, because you can't rely on the music. You can't rely on the camera movement. You have to adapt that same language in a different way. And I think reading masters at work like Brubaker and Phillips and Rucka, and how they crush it, or even Darwin Cook's Parker series,
Yeah.
was great, and super helpful. It helped me thread the line with this is one of the rare. I don't use internal monologues a ton in my work, because I feel like you can, once you start using them, you can overuse them real quick. But here, it suited the genre, and I think after reading all those, like, it helped me get that middle line of like, here's enough that is genre appropriate and lets Corsica's vibe without feeling like it was a dark day and the dame just walked in, like, kind of vibe.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, and it's tough. Like, you'll see, um, sometimes with a writer's first noir comic,
Yeah.
I feel like with other genres, when you're doing like a narrative caption, it's easier to make sure that what you have in the caption doesn't match the page, like you're not showing and telling at the same
Yep.
time. But sometimes I feel like writers forget that when they start to do a noir, because it is like a key element, and so
Yep.
they're showing and telling at the same time, and you have to remember, like, oh no, I still have to remember the basics of like comic
Yep.
writing and keep it interesting, and I have to be doing something and informing the character, and not just telling them what is on the panel. And I thought, yeah, having Corsica, especially in the beginning, and with other things, later on, about her past, and about, you use that to kind of dump different things of like the vampire lore, like little tidbits, which I think is really smart, because you're fleshing out the world, and you're learning more about Corsica as she's kind of going through, and goes from one job to the next, and getting into the heart of the story.
It's exposition that you try your damnedest to not make it feel like exposition.
Yeah, and I feel like you do it well in this. So, so kudos.
Thank you. I really
It's
appreciate
a
that.
Yeah, it was a really, it's a really quick read, and it's very well paced, too, which I think is another key thing with a noir. Pacing is kind of crucial. I mean, generally in
Yeah.
comics, but with a noir in particular.
You can get lost in the weeds of like, the mood and lose the actual like pace.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Um, so how have you felt going from something that you pitched and nobody bit on to then having it all come together leading up to the Kickstarter, and now you're what, a week and a half, 2 weeks in, and it's doing pretty well. So
It
what is that
funded
like?
it funded in 12 hours, which is insane. Um It feels incredible. Like it's not even like a vindication of like, ha, all those publishers knew nothing
Right.
because like, hey, they had their own like, audiences, they have their own like publishing like calendars and what they're looking for.
Sure.
Um but it does feel it's one of those things where I feel really lucky that I got this chance, and I think it's also just a testament to like, hey, don't give up on those ideas. Like if you because like I had that sitting for years, and no one bid on it. And but I was like, I still like Corsica. I still like this story. I want this to happen. And it just happened to work out. Like I literally what happened was Michelle and I met doing a signing at a wonderful shop here in New Jersey, East Side Mags. And we just became friends, and she mentioned, she was like, hey, like, if you have any pitches that you think might fit this vibe. And I just mentioned Sink Your Teeth In, and she would send me that immediately. And then later went, hey, so hope I didn't overstep. I sent it to Cat and Phil, and they've already greenlit it. We want to do it through Lifeline. Um, so I was just like, oh, cool. I'm the luckiest lady alive. Hell yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't know, it feels like magic sometimes and then to further to double up the like fever dream. I mentioned it before we started recording. I got sick recently. And on January 20th, the day we launched the Kickstarter, which was also the day another very big project of mine got announced. I was feverish and sick as a dog. So it was like like fever racked doing promotion on Blue Sky while in my bed going the entire time and watching it fund in 12 hours. Like I had never had less of a grip on reality than I did in that moment.
That's all. I mean, but that's how it works sometimes.
Yeah,
And
that's comics.
yeah. And the other project that was announced, I should have looked it up before we
Oh, you're
started, but I know
fine.
I read it.
It's
Are you writing a
I
prequel to one of the are you writing a prequel to one of the Lifeline comics?
No, I'm writing a prequel to the upcoming Life is Strange reunion video game. It's the final Chloe and Max Life is Strange game. The details are out there. Like they're gonna do like a more detailed like announcement with preview pages and everything next month. But it's a pre-order exclusive. If you pre-order the deluxe edition, you get the prequel comic. It's me and Claudia Leonardi who did the art on many wonderful uh Life is Strange comics before, the previous volumes. And without going into specifics, it may not be the last time you see me writing Chloe and Max this year. So keep an eye out for things. Could be cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's great.
yeah.
Um so yeah, January 20th was
Well,
a
big
pretty big
day
day.
for me. Yeah, big day for poor fever racked me. I think I like to celebrate. I put on Master and Commander and was just like, "Yay, boats!" While the fever was washing over me, and I was just watching the number go up on the Kickstarter.
Is that a movie you pull out for celebration, Master and
I
Commander?
it's a comfort movie for me.
Okay.
It's so I was sick and I wanted something comforting.
There you go.
I love the very homoerotic boat movie with Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany. It's a wonderful film.
All right. Oh, I wanted to ask just because whenever I get a chance to talk
Yeah.
theater on the podcast, I try and do that. Can you tell me what show you and Michelle went and
Oh
saw?
yeah, of course. We saw the first preview night of The Other Place. It's a uh modern retelling of Antigone, starring Emma Darcy from House of the Dragon. They were that Emma Darcy was the main reason we went. We both love them. But it was a good play. It was performances were all great. It was very funny. Michelle wasn't familiar with Antigone, and thus did not know how much of a bummer Antigone is on the note it ends on. So watching the ending unfold and Michelle being like, "Oh, Jesus Christ," was very funny. But yeah, it was great. And we saw Mariska Hargitay of Law and Order in the audience, and we were like, "Oh wow, we're so fancy. We're here with the cultural elite."
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, much better than my going to a Broadway show and seeing a celebrity, um, someone like my friend Harry that I used to work with had it had gotten tickets, and we went and saw Young Frankenstein the musical with
Yeah.
Roger Bart and Megan Mullally, and I think Andrea Martin was in it as well, and I used a urinal next to Geraldo Rivera.
Did he still have the mustache?
He did still have the mustache. Yeah, it was
Wow.
a
Honestly, good for him.
number of years ago, and,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's
If I
that was
remember
my
right, that if I remember right, that dude sucks, but good for
yeah,
him still having that
yeah,
mustache.
yeah, yeah, so, but yeah, I'd much rather would have seen Mariska Hargitay,
Yeah.
that's, in the audience there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great. It was it got a little too like the production parts of the production, like the score, were a little too like we are avant-garde modern theater. We want you to be uncomfortable. For me, to the point where it stopped being like a mood thing. It was just like this soundtrack is too much. Please tone it down for a moment.
Mhm.
Uh, but all of the performances were fantastic, especially Emma Darcy. Like my God. Yeah, it was great. Highly recommend it. I think it's only running for like the month in New York. So hey, if you're around and get tickets, it's short. It's like an 80-minute play with no intermission. Like
Oh,
kind of
that's not
gets in
bad.
and gets out. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, yeah, I don't have tickets for anything yet. I usually try and at least go up to New York to Broadway once a year. I'd love to be able to go more, but I'm not allowed to pick the next show because my wife and
Uh
I for our anniversary, I got tickets to see last November to see Swept Away, the Avett Brothers musical that like closed a week after I think we saw it, and she did not.
wow.
She's not a fan of the Avett Brothers. She didn't know it was about four guys on a boat. She did not know it was going to be about cannibalism, and yeah, I'm not allowed to pick the next musical. So
Honestly, deserved. Um my partner and I my partner lives in Scotland and I'm going to go visit in March. And we're gonna spend a week in London. So we're gonna try and catch some shows. I think right now we're debating between Six, which is the one about all of Henry VIII's dead
yeah,
wives and ex-wives, or Hercules, the Disney, which
yeah.
unfortunately Hercules is very near and dear to my heart. So like that one's kind of like a special like I know it's not as cultured, but also consider I want to see Megara sing I'm Not in Love.
I've heard nothing but great things about the West End production of Hercules.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I mean every clip I've seen of it, it looks great. It looks like a lot of fun. It's got a fantastic cast. So
Yeah, and I'm
you
like
know,
fingers crossed. We'll probably we might be able if we're lucky enough we can get two shows in. But yeah, hey, if I go see it, I'll let you know how it is.
please do. I want to get back to something you said in terms of you really love Dirtbag,
Yeah.
waking up in a dumpster characters. So what are some of your touchstones, do you think, like Dirtbag characters that are done, really well? I think in terms of comedy, because I'm right outside of Philly and went to college and law school in Philly of It's Always Sunny or something like
Oh
the
yeah.
Righteous
The
Gemstones are kind of,
so I
dirtbaggy, but
I am in I believe there's a strict dichotomy between dirtbag and scumbag. A
oh, okay.
dirtbag a dirtbag is someone
Take
who
take me to school.
you got it. A dirtbag is someone who is a hot mess, is a disaster, will wake up in a dumpster, will their life is in constant train wreck. But at the core of their person, they're still pretty okay. Like they'll help you out. They'll do some like, they'll complain about it and probably fuck it up along the way, but they will try to help you. A scumbag is someone who will not. Is so like I think the Always Sunny gang are scumbags. I love them.
Yeah.
I love Always Sunny. It's great. But Always Sunny works because they're all irredeemable monsters.
Yeah,
Um,
by your definition, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I'm
Um,
on board.
um, the like for me, I think of like a dirtbag as uh Jason Todd is a dirtbag for me, like Red Hood. I could see that man waking up in a dumpster, being like, shit, okay," and just getting up and like just brushing off the banana peels, and being like, "All right, what am I doing today?" Um, or what was the? Did you watch? I know not a ton of people did. HBO did that remake of Perry Mason a few years ago. It's fantastic. That version of Perry Mason, dirtbag through and through.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can't remember the actor's name from the
it was
Americans, right?
yeah, Reese something. Matthew Reese. That's it.
Yes. Yeah, Matthew
But
Reese.
yeah, he was incredible. That version of Perry Mason is a dirtbag for sure. Jessica
Okay.
Jones, dirtbag. Like that,
Okay.
and that's the difference. I love a scumbag, but it's not. It doesn't scratch that same itch as a dirtbag to me.
Okay. All right.
And here's the thing. I think Corsica is constantly straddling the line of dirtbag and scumbag because she she's not as bad as Adeline or some of the other vampires. I mean, she's not a good person. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend that my sweet baby dirt vampire is a nice heart of gold. But like as you'll see as the series keeps going, there are some decisions to be made, and she may be conflicted over some of those.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. The other thing I really liked, and I alluded to it a little bit in terms of we get some of her backstory, and then you said like she had she was doing much better, and I think had a really rough go of it in the
Yeah.
90s. But yeah, being immortal or undead or living a long time, like that can present a lot of problems. Like it's tough under capitalism to keep going
Yeah, sure
and
is.
I think of um Hob Gadling, the mortal character from Sandman, who you
Yeah.
see go through like times where he was doing great, and then other times where he was like just dirt poor, had nothing going on. But yeah, it's kind of tough to maintain things for decades and
Well, yeah,
decades. At
it's also
you
like
know,
Corsica compared to some of the others, like Corsica was turned in the 60s. So she's like, she's not young now, it's it's set in the present day. So 2020s. Um, but compare that to Florence, who was around in like the late 1800s, or Adeline, who's from the French Revolution. Like Adeline's been around a while. And I think it's one of those things where the other vampires might see it as like, oh yeah, you're being punished, give it another century, and like you'll probably bounce back. Whereas Corsia is like, oh, my life is over, and this is just what my life is now, because she went from being turned, riding that high, to now hitting rock bottom and not having that like sort of long distance view of I can deal with living at rock bottom for 50, 60, 70 years if it means I get 200 back on top. Um, because she just hasn't experienced that yet.
yeah, I mean that, but I still think that'd be tough to wrap your head around.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
50 years is a long time.
It's
Like,
a long time.
if you're turned in your, what, 20s or 20s,
Yeah,
your
she was a
in your
college student when
20s?
she was turned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're in your early 20s in the 60s, and you're like,
Yep.
yeah, 50 years is a long time to think,
And
"Oh,
now,
this is gonna
now
suck."
it's 2020 and you're living in a closet. Like, not great.
Yeah. No, not great at all. But what is great is the entirety of Sink Your Teeth In.
Nice.
Thank
Good
you.
segue.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I just loved it. I just absolutely loved it. Even though um the Kickstarter's funded, I just want to see how well it can do, because of, I think everybody should get on board for this story. I especially, I mean, I love all the vampire stuff, but yeah, just something new, some
Yeah.
breathing like new life into, this idea of like a vampire noir. And yeah, I think it's great, and I'm really happy for you
Thank
and the
you.
entire creative team, and the success of this. Although I will just worked on fulfillment for my anthology that I kickstarted back in April, and just had my youngest Penny help me package up like 75 graphic novels. So you're at like 600 right now. I hope Lifeline and Cat and Phil are helping with the fulfillment.
Oh, here's the beautiful thing. I don't have to do any of that shit.
Okay.
I do have to like autograph some comics, and I also there are certain re- excuse me, rewards, like some people get a 30-minute Zoom chat with me where I get to go over their script or like an outline with them and kind of give some pointers. But that's part of the like kind of beautiful agreement with Lifeline is I will say this, the contract with Lifeline is the most fair contract I've ever seen in comics. Just to sing their praises, we retain, me and Lauren, we retain ownership of Sink Your Teeth In. That's ours. They don't have exclusive reprint rights. They have like a certain amount of reprints, but then eventually it will revert to us. They like it's just very, very creator friendly, and one of the big ones is they handle fulfillment. They handle all of the logistics. They handle all of that. It is entirely in their hands. Also, like I feel like this is something that a lot of people don't do, and I would love to see become the norm. The entire creative team was paid before the Kickstarter hit. Like a lot of Kickstarters are like, okay, and you'll get paid if we fund.
Yeah.
Lifeline pays you a page rate regardless of funding or not. If you get paid, if it funds, great. Once it clears a certain profit threshold, you'll get some bonuses. But either way, you're getting paid, which is, I think, a wonderful thing to see in comics, which is an industry that requires a lot of unpaid labor, a
Yeah.
lot of the time. So I truly just cannot sing Cat and Phil's praises enough. Lifeline is one of the best operations going around.
Yeah, I love Cat and Phil. I mean, I've had them on the
Yeah.
podcast before, and the first thing I ever had printed was a 4-page short that I wrote. Beck Kubrick did the art,
Yep.
for their first By Visibility anthology, and yeah, so I Cat and Phil are awesome.
Yeah.
And
Great people.
yeah, and so I'm glad to see that they're involved in this. And yeah, listeners, sink your teeth in. If you're listening to this in the first week or two it came out, you're going to be able to go. I'll have a link in the show notes. You can go back, sink your teeth in, check out the whole campaign page.
Yeah.
We've
If
tried to do
you,
it justice, but it's really great. So
excuse me. And if you don't trust us, just to get the hard sell, we have glowing pull quotes and praise from the likes of Greg Rucka, Al Ewing, G. Willow Wilson, Alex DeCampi, Jude Ellison S. Doyle, Jed McKay, and Kieron Gillen. Which still feels fake to me. The fact that all of those people read and liked our vampire comic feels insane. But yeah, like we really want as many people to read this as possible. And like without tooting our own horn, I think once the issue is out and in the wild and in people's hands, you're gonna see a lot more talk about it. Because frankly, like the end, the final page is such a key load bearing column of Sink Your Teeth In as a whole entity. And I think once everyone's able to see and get hooked, a lot of people are going to be grumpy that they didn't back the Kickstarter, and now they're going to have to wait for our number 2 Kickstarter, where there will inevitably be bundles where you can pick up copies of issue 1. But yeah, go ahead and do it now. Get it now so you won't be grumpy.
Yeah, I agree. I endorse that. And yeah, I was going to mention that you have like pull quotes, blurbs from
Yeah,
some giants in the comic book industry. But of all the ones on there, and I mean I love like everybody that
yeah.
whose name you mentioned. But I don't think I would have recovered by now if like I wrote some type of vampire noir and you know Greg Rucka, Batman Lazarus, Gotham Central Greg Rucka said what he said about
Oh,
my comic.
oh, believe me, I have it. Not only that,
Okay.
Greg, who is an angel man, love Greg with all my heart. That man reached out to me last week. It was just like, hey, like, it's okay if not, like, I, I just wanted to reach out and check. Can I shout out Sink Your Teeth in my newsletter? It's okay if you don't want. I'm just like, Greg, I'm dying. Greg, you don't know what weight these words have for me. I also greatly enjoyed one of the sources of inspiration for Sink Your Teeth In, and I think it's kind of an unavoidable source for inspiration for any modern vampire thing. Was Vampire the Masquerade. It's such an ingrained, and it's been around for so long, and it's so entrenched in what is the idea of a modern vampire story. Um, and Kieron Gillen read me for filth and had the first line of his blurb be "Criminal in a world of darkness." World of Darkness is the brand name for Vampire the Masquerade. Thanks, Kieron. You jerk.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I look, I really appreciate you coming on, Zoe,
Yeah,
and
of
talking about
course.
Sink Your Teeth In. I thought it was I said it a bunch, but I thought it was tremendous. And
Thank
so
you.
I'll have a link in the show notes. Listeners, truly, vampire, noir, I mean, just really good comics. If you're a Lauren Knight fan, if you liked Golden Rage, but yeah, it's just
It's
really, really
also,
fantastic.
hey, if you want some toxic Yuri in your life, let me tell you, Sink Your Teeth In. Gonna be full to the brim with it by the end of by the end of our run. So enjoy that if that's what you're looking for.
So there you go, which is one more reason. Um, so
Absolutely.
uh, I'll have links to the show notes for everything. The campaign will be live until February 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, listeners, thank you for listening. Rate and review us, do all the stuff they tell you to do about podcasts. It really is helpful. And thank you so much to my guest today, Zoe Tunnell. Zoe, thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
for
on the
having me. This
podcast.
was a blast.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. So listeners, thank you again. A shout out to my brother Bobby. I almost forgot. I'm sorry, Bob. I know. And yesterday, as we record this, yesterday was your birthday too. How could I forget? So happy birthday to Bobby. Turned 44. Bobby's the Cryptid Creator Corner's #1 most dedicated fan. Bobby listens to all my episodes because he's a good brother.
Hap- Happy belated birthday, Bobby.
So yeah, thanks a lot. Happy birthday, Bobby. And listeners, I'll see you next time. Good night.